Hey guys, Jesse with Jiggin Johnson's. We are going to start some video blogs here on my pond build. Kind of excited about it. We're going to do a little bit of informational on pond structure. I've got half blue barrels, little blue barrels, big blue barrels. I got some piping that we're going to use. I'm going to mimic a lot of the things I've seen online. Probably change a few of them up. Heard doing some different things might entice channel cat to actually spawn in a pond, so I'm gonna look at that. But first things first, we got to get some gravel down here moved. I started last night. I had this little parking area down here that I used to put my camper in, and additional parking for company. But anyways, I'm gonna get a building put up here. I'm gonna say it's gonna be about 36 by 48, and my pond builder is going to throw my pad together for that. It'll go back into those weeds there. First things first, I want to try to salvage some of this gravel. It's gonna be kind of dirty gravel, but I want to try to use it because it's gonna be a mud trail after it rains to get up to the pond, and when he gets here I want to be ready for him. So I'm gonna get this gravel moved. Try to get it moved tonight. I think he texted me the other day, said he'd be here mid to late next week. So that's the trail up to the pond. This is going to be the hole where the pond's going to be. I don't even know. I know on video it's hard to see depth and things like that. The dam's going to come off of this ridge right here, run out towards a pasture that's down there just beyond the trees, loop out, come back in to that ridge over there. He's going to get all the dirt from this hole, so this is going to get cut back and wider over here. That's going to get cut back and wider over there. All my runoff to fill the pond is going to come in off that pasture hayfield in the back there. That is not mine, but I'll have a little bit of a road bed going across there. Maybe end up having to put a little bit of a bridge at the tip of it. Depending on the season, it gets a little muddy there. But I'll put some rocks there to keep the runoff from coming in. I get a little bit of runoff there, a little bit of runoff from back here. So I should have plenty of runoff, keep the pond up as long as we get rain. All these trees are gonna go. He's gonna bring a dozer in here, backhoe, pop them all out, push them all down the pond. I got some friends gonna come over, have a big wood cutting party. Cut all this wood up. What's left will burn. that's going to be the gist of it. So at the end of the day, I think I mapped it out, and it should be a little bit over an acre total depth. Going to determine how much dirt he's got to dig out to get the dam built. But I'm going to say I'm going to be in that 20 to 24 foot range. At the bottom of the dam, should be right in here somewhere. And at that end, I mean, you can see already where you can start seeing the light colored trees up there right at the ridge. I mean, it drops off fast already, so hopefully, based on the clay that's underneath of this tree that blew over in tornado we had a couple years ago, based on that clay, I'm guessing he's gonna have to dig down maybe 1.5 feet, and he's gonna be in good clay. I know this should be a good spot for it. It's always wet down through here. Pretty sure there's a spring right up there by that down tree over there. I've got a well down here with any luck. I've got a trash pump found. Put some hose together for it. It's not even gonna be 100 yards atop the dam from the well. The well is always full of water. I'm gonna pump what I can out of there. I've got another well over by the house if I have to, literally the house. I don't know if you can see the roof through the camera, but it is literally maybe 100 yards from where you can see the brown roof up there. Literally there's a well at this corner of the house, so by the time the dam and this gets all cut out, I'm thinking we're probably going to be less than 100 yards to that well also. I don't have electric access to this one. I do to that one. I might use them both at the same time. I've got an old submersible pump that I pulled out of one of the wells. Not sure if it works, but we'll get it fired up and see if it does, and if so, I can pump from that well and that well. I'm going to try to get at least 10-12 foot of water in this thing, which will give me a pretty good sized little start before freeze. I actually have a hatchery that's going to call me middle of September. With any luck, I've got that much water in it, and we're going to get some fish out here, get it stocked with some bluegills, some fathead minnows, let them spawn a couple times next spring before I put any largemouth in here. I'd like to say I'd put some perch in to maybe make winter a little bit more fun this year, but it's going to be a muddy, soupy ass mess around this pond until I can get some stuff growing, so that'll be a chore. Up here somewhere, I'm not sure where, we're going to have a cutout for a little bit of a swim area. Got a lot of friends and family like come over, have bonfire, hang out on water. So we're going to clear literally a ton of these trees out to make all this happen. You will see blue sky that way, blue sky that way, blue sky above where I'm standing. All this will be knocked down and cut open. There won't be a tree there. Don't want those in the dam. So this is going to open up a lot. It's going to be very, very cool back here. It's not next to the house. I didn't really have a spot next to the house to put a pond. I could have spent who knows how much money and had this backed up with it, but built a big dam out around my pasture a little bit. Every now and then we have an animal or two, or a friend needs someplace to put a bowl or whatever. It's nice having the pasture, nice having an animal around occasionally without having to it be mine and I be responsible for it. So it's going to be fun. So I'm going to have a buddy bring over a drone, do some flyovers during the build. Hopefully that really shows you how much this opens up. I'm going to try to get him over here maybe yet this week or this weekend to do a flyover so you can see how dense it really is. I pulled a lot of little trees with my skid steer here, just so I could get the layout of the land and really see if this was a good spot. I bet you I pulled 40 trees, 9 inches and smaller, just to get a look at this. These trees here are too big for my skid steer, so he's going to take care of them with his bigger equipment. This should be a little bit of a wildlife haven. I got a lot of deer cut through here, across the road, and over in the neighbors. I've got farm fields behind me, a couple more ponds over the hill. Creek down here, they like to run the creek, so sometimes they just get stuck on the creek and don't come and see me. But I'll get my feeder up here, get some wildlife cameras out, probably take a peek at that. We'll be naming the pond, I'm not sure what yet. I'll be up here moving dirt probably for him to build that pad. He's going to pack it in with his big dozer, so I don't have to have it settle or anything for a great pad for that. And then after he's done, I'll start pumping water, start doing some maintenance around the edges, get my fish structure put in before I start pumping water. I'm going to try to get pillars and things put in to get a little bit of a fishing pier put together, get sand in for the winter so that's not a mud hole when I decide to do it, and I can spread it out a little easier, get some riprap thrown on some ledges that I'm going to have cut in. Primarily the big area here is fishing pond, someplace to come up, hang out. We're going to eventually put a little cabin over here, probably something me and the boys can camp out in, someplace to store a few things, kayaks, fishing poles. We'll put a fire ring up here and next to the beach. It should be a fun little spot. It's kind of quiet up here. Once the dam's built, I don't even know if we'll see the road or hear it. Right now it's kind of noisy when a car drives by going 60 mile an hour down the highway, but that's kind of the basic tour here until they really start clearing things out and I can get some equipment in here moving. It's going to be hard for you to tell elevations. I'd love to get the water clear up to that elevation over there, but it's going to be a stretch with no more than I have over here. We are going to level it out around the edges. Every farm pond I fish is like a straight drop into the water. We're not going to have ankle breaking ground next to the pond. I suppose if you go to the dam, if the water's not up all the way, you're going to have to work for it. He's going to put a pretty big slope on the inside just to keep vegetation down from growing, those kind of things. I'm researching plants at the moment, see what's going to work the best for my pond without being too aggressive and things I need to maintain. I'm working on trying to find some riprap. Probably just going to put something online saying drop off old concrete, this and that here, and I can haul it up here and put it where I want it when the pond's done. I'm going to take things like this little root ball here. I don't know what it looks like when the dirt's off of it, but I might just turn that thing upside down and plant it right in the tree for some place for fry and minnows to hang out. It's just going to be fun. I'm really excited about it. I'm hoping I can get a lot accomplished within the next month, because I think that's when I'm going to get my phone call for fish. If I can't have 8 to 10 foot of water in it by then, I'm probably going to have to pass this year. We'll probably just catch some fish here and there and throw them in here. It's all going to be the same fish. I might try some perch. I don't think I've ever caught a perch in any of the ponds around here. I know they're going to compete with the bass for food. I plan on stocking it with fathead minnows spring, summer, fall, just to feed the bass and stuff. The bass I'm getting, they're Florida strain. Then I'm going to catch some northern strain, throw in with them. That should give me a nice combo of a very active, aggressive fish that might get a little bit bigger than normal. I'd like to see some 5-6 pounders in here in 5 or 6 years. I'm going to maintain it. It's going to be a chore. It's going to be a project. It's going to be something that I just have to take on and make work. It's what I've got to work with, so I decided to pull the trigger, and this is what we're going to have. So give you a perspective here. This is the pasture, fence line there. I don't know how much of that you can see in the video. I know that it's hard to see when you get about 20 foot away, but this is the shallow end of my pond. I mean, you can see just how far down it goes. The bucket there's 10 foot from the bucket to the ground there on the skid steer. That's 10 foot deep. That's Iowa pond deep, and I could probably go down there where the dam's going to be and do that again, and still put a second one in, and I'd be over 20 foot deep. So you can just see how fast this comes downhill here. Just another perspective. How far down there it is, how wide it is. All that's going to start showing up on video. It should be very interesting when he starts knocking these trees down. I haven't seen a bear, of course. Trees here have been here longer than I have. But it's going to be fun. I'm going to put a little bit of a sediment pool up here, something I can dig out with a mini hoe. Maybe once every 2-3 years. I'm not going to get a lot of runoff. That's not farm ground. I will get a little bit. I've got ATV trails, side-by-side trails all over this place out here. Run my Jeeps on them. But there'll be a little bit of runoff just because I have trails. They're going to follow it down to the water. But that'll be a little bit of a catch-all. So the first probably 20 yards or so, there's going to be a rise that comes up about 6-8 feet. So the water will only be over the top of that, 2 to 3 feet. Cover it with rock, some riprap. And this will be a little bit of a catch-all for whatever dirt and sediment gets pushed in from the top side. The rest of this is going to be pretty flat to the pond, so I'm hoping with whatever growth, whatever I plant, grass, weeds, whatever ends up growing along the edges of the pond, it should be flat enough out that it don't get a lot of dirt and sediment washed into the pond unless we just have a heavy rain. I'm hoping eventually to get riprap put around a majority of the pond. You don't want it all the way around, but that way I've got some catch there. I'm not expecting this thing to silt in my lifetime to a point where it can't hold fish. So with any luck, we get a nice big dam put in there. It's arched out nice. This should be very, very, very cool. I'm getting excited even talking about it. I wish he'd show up today and start knocking trees down, but we're not to that point yet. Hey, I finished getting this gravel moved. Looks like it might start raining. Don't want to do that in the mud, but I'd say that end of the timber to that end of the timber, well over 100 yards, and that should be about the length of the pond by the time the dam's in. And I'm going to guess at the dam it's going to be about that wide too. It's going to get narrow a little quicker than probably I would like. But again, it's going to depend. He's got a lot of dam to build, and he's going to dig it all out of this earth that's here. We are not moving dirt in here. The ground's good enough. He's going to have a lot of black dirt on top, but like I said, foot and a half. I mean, this little tree here that I pulled up, it's got clay on the bottom of it, and that's good clay. It's good packing. It's got some rock and gravel in it, but it's not sandy. It's good clay. He's going to be able to pack that in there with that big dozer of his. Be a nice dam. He'll get all this black dirt pushed out of the way and give me some top coat for around the edges, top and back side of the dam. We might even have to scrape some out of the pasture before we're done to finish things off. But he's just going to keep going side to side till he gets the dirt he needs for that dam. So should be very, very cool. Can't wait. I'm excited. So before my battery dies, I'm going to give a little bird's eye view where the building's going. So leave room for cars to park in front. It's going to shoot that way. I got to get a couple of my rural water line located. Guys doing the roof said they'd pull the Christmas lights, but I'm not that kind of guy. They got things to do and time, money. I'm going to pull these down quick so they don't have to mess with it. They start tomorrow. But anyways, I hope everybody enjoys a little pond preview. What's going on at Johnson Chicken Ranch. Pond's going to be right over there. But if you have any questions, comments, advice you can give, please comment below. Tell your friends about what's going on here. The more people giving me advice, the better off I will be. I'll obviously research that advice. But got a lot to do out here, so I'm just going to keep plugging along, get these lights down. Thanks for watching. Equipment shows up in about a week. We will probably have another video posted a couple days after that, because they're going to get to work and get some trees down, get some drone footage. Hopefully start putting together a video that you want to watch. Till then, happy fishing. Adios from the chicken ranch.